Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, hello, my name is Tiana. I am an American living in Paris and I make videos all about my travels, my life in Paris as a student and things like that. Today I just wanted to hop on here and make a quick update video about how I'm going to school in France for free, my Alternance, my work study program, all of that. I made a video back in November telling you guys about how I'm doing my master's here in Paris and how I'm getting it done for free, and I'm working for a company as well who also pays me a salary, and that whole process and how that works. And it seemed to be helpful for a lot of people, which I love. A lot of you guys also left some really good questions down in the comments. So today I just wanted to sit down really quick, really informal, do like a little Q&A, go through some of the questions that you guys left on that video and answer some more questions for you about the whole process. I really hope that the audio is fine and that you guys can see me okay. I'm sitting on my balcony because the sun's setting and it's such a nice day, and I wanted to just sit outside and enjoy the sunset for a bit, but it can be a little bit windy. So yes, my apologies in advance if you hear kids screaming in the background or sirens going off. That's Paris life for you. Okay, so the first question that I got a few times on the video was what proficiency level was needed to do the master's program in French. So when I was searching for master's programs, I found that most of the schools required or at least recommended that you have at least a B2 level in French. And I think that's around the level that I had when I first started. And I do agree that that's a good level to have if you are planning on doing a program here that is completely taught in French. As far as the alternance goes, I can't really say what level of French you should have. I got really lucky and I found a position that was for a native English speaker. So they didn't necessarily care what level of French I had because all of my work is done in English. So I can't really give you advice on that. But what I can say is that when I was looking for an alternance, before I found the company that I'm with currently, a lot of them did say fluent in French. Either it would say fluent in French and English, or just at least at minimum fluent in French. So it's kind of up to you to decide what fluent in French means to you, because even though I thought I had a pretty good French level, I did have a few interviews with some companies in French, and fluent conversational French is not necessarily like the same level of fluency that you would need to do a job in France. So kind of just use that at your own discretion, but I would definitely recommend having at least a B2 level for both the Alternance program and the master's program. The next question that I got was, can you tell me how much they pay you to work for the company? Is it enough money to live on, or do you need to add your own? So this is a really good question. So the pay for interns and alternants in France depends on your age, actually. So because I'm old, I'm on the older end of the spectrum, I actually make the max amount, which is good, a good benefit of being old. So if you're between 18 and 20 years old, you will make 683 euros per month in the first year, 810 euros per month in the second year, and 1,064 euros per month in the third year. Then if you're between 21 and 25 years old, you'll make 842 euros per month in the first year, 969 euros per month in the second year, and then 1,239 euros per month in the third year. And then if you're 26 and above, like myself, you'll make the max amount. So it was 1,589 euros per month, but actually it was just increased to 1,603 euros per month as of January 1st, 2022. So that is the max amount. They won't pay you any less than that. I don't think any companies will actually pay you more than this amount, but at least you know that this is the minimum amount that you will make. So they cannot pay you any less than this amount, and maybe it depends by company. If they want to pay you more, they can, but you can expect to make at least 1,603 euros per month if you are above 26 years old. So based on this chart, and I'll leave this chart on the screen so you guys can have like a visual example as well, but based on this chart you can see exactly how much you can expect to be making each month. This can also help you decide if you want to do your master's program and your alternance in a big city like Paris, where it's obviously more expensive and the cost of living is higher, Or if you are in the younger age ranges and you're not making as much money, you might want to decide to do your program in a smaller city where things will be less expensive. Since I'm making the max amount, like I said, it is enough to live on. Though Paris is very expensive, it's enough to pay my rent and pay for groceries and the bills that I have, but it's also not a ton of money either. So I do recommend having like a side hustle or a second source of income if you really want to travel or go out with friends or just like explore the city at all. It's not a ton of money to work with, so I definitely recommend having some extra income on the side or savings as well. Next question, how did you become fluent in French? I would like to study in France, but my French is not quite good enough to be able to follow lectures. Okay, yes. So if you've already been following me, then you know that I was an au pair for a year here in Paris when I first moved to France in August 2019, and that's how I learned the majority of the French that I know now. I lived with a French family, so they spoke to me only in French, and I really kind of immersed myself in the culture, in the language, and I kind of didn't really have a choice but to learn French. You know, I was obligated because I'd moved here and lived with a French-speaking family. So that is how I learned. I've never really taken a formal French class or had like a French tutor or anything. It's kind of just been living here and like teaching myself and just immersing myself in the language, like I said. The good part about my fields, like marketing, but like the business field itself, a lot of it is taught in English. A lot of the terms that they use are English terms, so it's really easy to follow. And even some of the classes that I've had this year have been completely taught in English, so that's really cool as well. It definitely depends what you plan on studying. If you're studying something super technical like science or math, then it might not be as simple and as easy to follow if you don't have a good level of French. But at least for me, with marketing and business related topics, it's pretty easy to follow because most of the terms are in English, and even when they're in French, it translates, like you can pretty much figure out what it translates to pretty easily, even if you're not super good in French. And then also, most professors that I've had have sent the lecture slides after the class for us to review. So worst case scenario, if you don't understand something in the lecture, you can always go through the slides at the end and just translate them and review them on your own time as well. Next question says, how's the master's in French going? I'm hoping I can keep up. I have a B2 level French language. Also, did you have to do anything with Pôle emploi? So, yes, thanks for asking. So far, the master's is going well. I am already almost done with the first year, which is awesome. I think we finish in the end of April, so I am looking forward to that, to have a little break from school. So like I said, yeah, I had a B2 level when I started, which I think is a good level to have. There are some times that I've had issues following the course. Not so much that it was difficult, it's just that when COVID got really bad, we were completely online, and I only go to school 2 days a week, so it's usually 8 hours a day in those 2 days. And when COVID got really bad, we were completely online, so we would have lecture for 8 to 9 hours per day, and it would be completely in French. So the times that I did have trouble keeping up and like comprehending, paying attention, wasn't so much that the material was hard, it was just, it's really hard to focus on a foreign language for 8 hours at a time, and so you really have to focus and work on paying attention and following everything, because it's not like in your native language you can listen while like doing other things at the same time and you can still kind of grasp what's happening. You actually have to really be focused and like attentively listening to what's going on. But overall, I've done well. I've been able to follow pretty much everything in the courses, and all of my professors have been very understanding as well about me not being a native French speaker. So a lot of the times, honestly, they'll ask a question in French, and I'll try my best to respond in French, but if I know that I can't and I can better explain myself in English, then I just respond in English. And I haven't had any professor say anything to me about it. They're all very understanding. A lot of them even tell me, like, if you ever have any problems understanding or if you feel more comfortable in English, like, don't hesitate to respond in English. So that definitely made me feel a lot better, because I was worried about that at the beginning. And no, I did not have to do anything with Pôle emploi for the Alternance, but that is a good method to go for. If you are looking for an Alternance, you can go through the Pôle emploi, which is like an unemployment website that lists a bunch of jobs. and you can look for companies there as well if you are looking for an alternance. And the last question that I have that was asked quite a few times was how to find employers. So there are tons of sites that you can use to find employers for your alternance. The main sites are LinkedIn, Indeed, and Welcome to the Jungle. So Welcome to the Jungle is the site that I use to find mine. That's the one I would recommend the most. That's probably where most of them are located. It's super simple to use. You just log in, you type in the city that you want to be in, you type in your field, and then you would click off Alternance. If your browser is in French, it'll say Alternance. If your browser is in English, it'll say Work Study, and you want to click that under like type of job. They have full-time jobs, part-time jobs, internships, which is if you're studying a bachelor's program, you would be an intern, and if you're doing a master's degree, then you would be doing an alternance program. So you want to make sure you click Alternance or Work Study, fill out all the information, and then just search through all the listings in there. You can even check sites like Le Bon Coin. So Le Bon Coin is it's like the French version of Craigslist, so it's not super reliable. There aren't a ton of listings there. That's kind of like a last-ditch effort. If you don't find anything on some of these other sites, you can check there. But yeah, it's not as relevant for these kind of job listings, so I would check the other ones first before looking on Le Bon Coin. So that is it for this video, you guys. I really hope I answered most of your questions. I do try to go through the comments and respond as much as I can, but I thought it would be a good idea to just make a general video since there were so many questions, just so that everyone who watched the first video can come back and maybe see some of the answers to some of the other questions that they didn't think of before. I really hope this was helpful. If I left anything out or you have any other questions, please feel free to leave them down below. Don't hesitate to ask. I try to be very transparent and answer as many questions as I can because I really want to help you guys. Just a few months ago, I didn't even know that it was possible to go to school in France and do this work study program and not have to pay for school. So I really just want to be as open as possible and answer any questions that you guys have and be able to help in any way that I can. So definitely do reach out if you have any other questions for me. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and best of luck in your search for a master's program or a work study position, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.